Hi everyone, we need to create a data set for international student employment in the US. For this project, we're going to use ChatGPT to create the data set. There are two purposes for this. The first is to see what kind of data set ChatGPT can generate for us and how well it can follow the prompts to give us what we need. The second purpose is to create a data set that we can use in PowerBI to create a PowerBI dashboard that will look into international student employment in the US. So we're going to explore that in a future video, but for this video, let's just get our data set from ChatGPT. So let's get started. Here we are on OpenAI's ChatGPT 3.5, and we need to come up with a good prompt to get us the best data set possible. And again, this is just fake data that ChatGPT is giving us, but we still want to, think through everything that we might need to create a nice dashboard of data. So what we'll do is we'll start out by asking ChatGPT, can you create a data set in .xlsx file format that has 5 column headers? Actually, I can think of a few more at the moment. 7 column headers. The first column is student name. Second column is country of citizenship. The third column is major. The fourth column is employer. The fifth column is employment start dates. The sixth column is employer city. Seventh column is employer state. So these are the columns that I want to have. And we also need to think about what kind of values is ChatGPT going to populate into these columns, right? And so if we just start with this and see what it gives us, then we can reevaluate and assess as we go along. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with this prompt, and then another thing too is let's tell ChatGPT, please make total rows 30. Well, actually, let's do a little bit less than that. Let's just do 20, and let's see what it gives us. So it's telling us that it can't create files directly, and I knew that, but that's okay. We have a way to copy this data and put it into Excel. So we'll explore that after we get the data the way that we want it to be. So we can see that it gave us a small data set with 20 rows, and the column names, student name, country of citizenship, major. We got all of that. You can use the slider bar here to go over. Now, one thing right off the bat that I noticed is our data set is for international student employment in the US. So we want to specify that the employer city and employer state needs to be US. And I also know that all these dates are 2022. So let's make it like more current. We'll just say, make the year 2023. Take a look at the employer name here. Like, it gave us basically a unique value in this column for every single employer. At least that's what I'm seeing. And then for major, looks like there aren't, oh no, there's some repeating majors, computer science here, computer science there. And then it's country of citizenship. These are supposed to be international students, so we shouldn't have any USA country of citizenship values. So let's fix that. And student name, it's fine. We're probably not even going to have that in our as a vision, or sorry, we're probably not going to have that in our dashboard. But for now, that's fine. Could be useful. So let's make some changes here. So for country of citizenship column, please only use international. Oh, please only use non-USA values. And then for, let's see, what else? For employment start date, column, please only use year 2023. Please only use 2023 for a year. For employer city and employer state, please only use USA or US cities and states. All right, let's go ahead and see the response to that. So they gave us an updated data set and it says non-USA values, right? 2023 for employment start date. And let's see. So it looks like no USA values in country of citizenship. And then for employment start date, changed it to all 2023. Great. And then only USA cities and states. And that looks good too. Great. So I want to do more than 20 rows. I want to have like maybe 200, at least 200 rows for my data set. So I'm going to have it give me some more rows. And another thing that we can do that could be helpful is we might want to add more columns, because then we have more like data that we could like visualize, and that might be useful. But off the top of my head, I'm not sure. So we can just ask ChatGPT for more suggestions. So let's say based on the column, based on the data provided, what additional columns would you suggest I include in this data set? Let's see what they say here. Data set you have currently covers basic information about students. So, oh, and I didn't specify how many. It's usually good, at least in my experience with using ChatGPT, it's good to specify, like, if you're asking for suggestions, like, just give me 5 suggestions. In this case, they gave us 10. That's great. So let's see what they gave us. Additional columns to provide more context or detail. So email address, we don't want anything specific to the student. It's not necessary. Contact number. GPA, that's a good one. Job title, I like that. So let's add job title. Salary, let's add salary too. Contract type, employment is full-time, part-time. We're assuming it's all full-time because it's international student employment, which should be full-time. And then the reason I say that is because this is going to be for optional practical training, which if you know anything about international student visa, then you know that the OPT should be, we're going to assume full-time. Okay, contract type, supervisor name, industry sector, LinkedIn profile, URL, feedback, comments. Okay, I like job title, like salary. I'm going to use both of those. And I thought of one more, which is major and also grade level. So that would be, then we're going to say use bachelor's and master's only, or use values of bachelor's and master's only. Okay, so with that, can you please add 4 additional columns with values? We're going to have job title, salary, major, and grade level. Okay, let's give it that. Okay, let's take a look at the results here. So it did add job title, which is great, and then salary, grade level, and where is major? Oh, here we go. Here's major. Which now I'm like, did I already ask it to include major? I can't remember now. So if we go back here, well, I guess I did. All right, so we're good on that. Let's see what it said. 4 additional columns, major, major. Okay, this looks good. This is looking good so far. Now I want to just change some like more minor details. I want to have the salary, maybe make a range that's more like, I don't want to say realistic, but these numbers would seem kind of low, I guess, for someone with a master's in software engineering. But of course, it's all dependent on where they live too. Like this person is in California, the first row, like San Francisco, like probably they're making more than that. So can you adjust the values in the salary column to be a range of numbers between, let's just say, let's go like 75K to 200K. There we go. And the last thing that I want to do, as I mentioned, is I want more rows. So we're going to ask it to create 200 rows, right? But we're going to do one thing before we do that. And I'm actually going to copy this. You can copy the code as you can see there. And then we're going to paste it into an Excel workbook and see how that works. And then also, we need to make sure that we're not having like unique values in every single row. And in this case, like you can see here and there some repeating values, but except for, of course, like name, like it knows what to do for there, but we don't want a whole bunch of unique values. Like if we have 200 unique values in every row, I mean, for every column in our entire table, then, it's gonna, the data it's gonna look weird. So what we'll do here in a second is we'll ask it to change that. So let's go ahead and copy our code, and then we're gonna open an Excel workbook, blank workbook, and then we're just going to paste it right into column A here. We're going to see it's going to paste the whole thing into column A. That's fine. With column A highlighted, we're going to go to the data tab, and then we're going to go to text to columns, and then we're going to do this. We're going to choose this file type, delimited, and then click next, and then we're going to click other. And then we're going to put the little symbol in there that you see, the little spacer symbol. And that's I always forget where that is on my keyboard. It's not that one, it's this one. There we go. And then we're going to click next and finish. Now we can see that it has split everything into appropriate column. I'm going to delete column A. I can delete this second row, and that looks good. So I'm not going to show you the last part where we actually get the 200 rows, but I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to ask ChatGPT to make sure that with certain columns, at least, it's using like a certain number, like limiting the variety of values to like 20 or something like that. And then once I've done that for all the columns I want to do that for, I probably will only do it for like country of citizenship, major, and maybe like employer, but we'll see. Then we'll pull that data from Excel into the query editor in Power BI, and we'll do some transformation, and we'll create a dashboard. We're going to do that in a future video. For this video, this is all we're going to do. So thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you in that next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.